Yo, we are back, and today officially marks my 3-month hair transplant update. But before we go into the update, we're gonna rewind really quick and go over how we got here in the first place. Now, at the very young age of 20, my hairline already started to recede, and by the time I was 22, I had a very diffused, thin look, and I was going bald. My mom bought me some shampoos and some topical stuff, but I didn't really use it. My hair kept falling out, and by the time I hit 24, I shaved it off and rocked the bald look for a couple years. Now, a lot of you guys probably see me on social media trying to grow back my hair. At the age of 26, I took the leap and tried one last time to try to get my hair back. And over that 2-year time, we put a lot of effort into my hair and actually regained a lot of my hair back. Although we see a lot of progress through the journey of regaining my hair, I still want to take the next step and get a hair transplant because my hair is still thin, sparse, and I wanted just a fuller look. I saw how much confidence it brought me by growing back my hair, and I just loved the progress. So we took the leap, we took the next step, and got a hair transplant 3 months ago. Now, I did do it in the US and stayed local, and I did it in North LA with Dr. Parsa Mohebi. We ended up getting 4,126 grafts done to the entire top of my head. Now, a lot of you can see I didn't lower my hairline or get my temples filled in, which we'll go over later in the video. And right, we have made it to Dr. Parsa Mohebi's restoration and headed in. Let's get after it. Salads, chicken kebab, salmon, steak. Good to see you.
Today is the day.
Today's the day. I'm excited.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Tell me if there is anything new since last time we talked. Health issues, medications.
Yeah, everything's good. I'm taking finasteride daily.
Okay.
I'm using my minoxidil daily. I haven't seen any change in my hair, like hair fall or anything like that. I did dye the front of my hair.
Why did you do that?
I thought I would look more dense. Just, yeah, pretty close.
Like
the best I had it.
The longest.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little dry right now in prison. I didn't really do anything before coming in today because I knew we were gonna shave it off.
You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. That's good. So medication, you have been on topical dutasteride and finasteride. Are you still using those?
No longer the topical dutasteride right now. I'm just taking the 1 milligram of oral finasteride.
So you want to continue with 1 milligram finasteride after procedure?
Yes.
So I would recommend Mohebi Life too. We talked about it before.
Yeah, I'll be using that as well.
It has all vitamins and minerals that are essential for hair. Donor density was better than average. Hair thickness is medium. That's good. So let's talk about the plan for a second before I do the hairline. So we're going to give you a mature and natural looking hairline. And as we go from front to back, front is going to be the maximum density, and as we go back, we kind of taper density because we don't need the same density everywhere. But let's talk about your crown area and what is your expectation, because you are going through class 6, although you have some here now.
Yeah.
I'm not counting on any of these hairs to be there 10 years from now. I know you've been trying hard to keep them and maintaining them, but that's how it is, because you always make that DHT. You cannot eliminate that, so you always have some hair loss going on. Kept your hair a little bit better. Usually the curve is it goes up a little bit for 2 years, it becomes plateau and slowly coming down after. With any medication, we don't have any medication that stays straight or keeps going up. Not counting on any of those hairs. I'm assuming that they're going to be gone at some point. So I'm going to go very heavy in front, give you maximum density, put a good density on the top and crown. But again, 4,000 is still a limited number of grafts. We can cover a big area, but the question is, what are the priorities? I'm thinking we can do basically a bridge technique. We can do heavy in front, good number on the crown, and minimal on the top.
So it almost looked like an hourglass, like here.
Yeah,
here.
something like that. And how do you style your hair usually? If you have better hair, when you have better hairline.
Push back or like push to the side would be cool.
When you did have full head of hair, did you go to the side or back?
I just went to the side. It just come to the side.
Left to right.
Yeah.
That's perfect. We have to realize that hair transplant does not give you the same density you had when you were 10.
Yeah.
So we are creating the illusion of fullness with less number of hair. It's better for you to pick a style. If you say, I want to go left to right one day, tomorrow I want to go right to left, and then I want to part from the middle, then I have to consider everywhere is my priority. But if you tell me I mostly go from left to right and I go heavier on the left, and that left hair will help the other side too. Strategic placement, basically.
Yeah. I am not really sure.
Most people do left to right.
Yeah, it's been so long. I just don't even know. Like, it's not even like an idea of how I look with hair because I haven't had it. I don't know how to style my hair. I never had hair to style. You know. I know I have shape in my temples, but I was wondering about if they need reinforced a little bit.
Temples, you either do them or don't, because it takes a good probably 400 grafts on each side.
Okay.
So it's a lot of grafts. You have them. They're not too bad. I think they're going hand in hand with a better hairline that you're going to have.
Okay.
At some point in the future, you may lose them, and we can take care of them.
Okay.
And you have enough hair for that. Here and there, see what is a better fit for your face.
Yeah, we got to do it right this time.
Yeah, I'm going to change this. No, that's definitely is going to be the case when you go to someone that has not met you before. They should not be able to tell this is transplanted hair.
When there's density there, it's going to look so much slower and better, for sure.
All right, let's take some pictures.
Sweet.
Let's have you on that chair. That's a serious picture. Makes a perfect before picture.
Do I look upset?
Before picture, before and after.
Should I be all sad?
You go from like your after smiling.
But there is a reality to it. When people come after 8 months, come into pictures, they're all happy and cheerful and everything.
Yeah.
First few days after procedure, you're going to have some redness and some swelling. Forehead is going to be swollen. Eyes might get puffy, but it will go away after day 5. The day 1 after the second procedure, you're going to come back here for hair wash. We wash it for you, we show you how to wash at home, give you shampoo, sponge, and everything that you need. Then the transplanted hair usually grows or takes, and you see them for the first month. Most people keep them for 1 month and then they lose them and go back to where they were before. And after 2 or 3 months, you start seeing new growth. There is a 20% chance that you can keep and start growing from day 0 and you never lose them or not lose them all. So it depends on how lucky you are. And then occasionally you may have some pimples in the transplanted area or donor area. They come and go. It's called folliculitis. They won't affect the growth of hair. On the donor area, there's a small chance that if you ever shave your head with a razor and somebody looks very closely, the spots the hair was removed may look a little bit lighter. It's called hypopigmentation. We talked about shock loss before, and the inflammation of healing may push some of those hairs to go out faster. All right, let's go. So we're going to go to room number 2. All right, this is the team.
Hi. Good morning. I'm gonna have you remove your shirt. We're gonna put a gown on. Now, do you tend to run cold or warm?
I like it colder.
Okay.
I like it colder. You told me to relax right now. Good.
Hi. Zeph, may I see your right pointer finger? You can just relax your finger.
Pretty good. I'm a little nervous, a little excited. Some mixed emotions with the, the hair journey and like bringing people along, coming to this point. It's pretty surreal. I think I was here last November, December.
About a year.
It's almost been a year, yeah.
The marking of the hairline and the different areas, different priorities with different zones basically with the surgical marker, so it won't be washing away as we do the procedure. Then we put these lines that we start with the local anesthesia, and since this is a 2-day procedure, we're going to mark the entire donor area and we know exactly which area is going to be used today and which area is going to be left for tomorrow.
You just need
All right, good. It's good to go. Let's
All right. So we're going to start to shave.
You want to get it?
Go ahead. You want to say it? Yeah, say something.
Do I want to say something?
If you want to. So then you need
Wait.
to do it.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay, there's gonna be a countdown, and once it counts down, you guys can just start saving it.
Okay.
Cool. It's gonna sound like this. I'm gonna talk. And then you guys are gonna shave. Okay. Once this counts down, you guys can start getting after it.
Okay.
Dude, that's money. Thank you guys.
That was really good. I know. I was like, Zeph's gonna want this part.
That was clutch.
It was like perfect time.
All that hard work, man. My little baby hairs took me 8 months to do. You know what? I think I like this look. I'm gonna leave.
Dude, that's what my boyfriend got his hair tape. He's like, I look really good bald, actually. Forget the whole thing.
Forget that surgery. I look better this way.
When's the last time you had your head bald like this, like just completely shaved?
So I shaved my head 8 months ago, and I tried a professional toupee. I had like one of the best like toupee experts in the U.S. give me a male toupee and shaved it down. Before that, it was when I was like 25. I had my head shaved for 3 years. 26 actually, 23 to 26, I was shaving my head. See, I've been rocking this look for a long time. It's honestly, I've been bald more than I've had hair in my 20s. I'm pretty used to it. Yeah, so this is gonna be the new hairline. I think it's gonna look really great. The lower the better. It's gonna look aesthetic. Also, I think the pain meds are gonna get you in.
That way he's more relaxed. Yeah, they want to get him relaxed, they can nap.
Pillow on, I'm gonna recline you back. Then we're gonna review the laughing gas with you.
Sweet.
I'm gonna ask you just to bring your hips all the way back, get nice and comfortable. I don't want you to strain your back throughout the process. We're gonna give you laughing gas today.
Cool.
There is a black wristband attached to it, so I'm gonna put it on your left wrist. Our laughing gas is a 50-50 mixture of nitrous and oxygen, completely safe. Once you're done, in and out using your mouth only, so pretend like you don't have a nose. When you exhale, please exhale back into the tube so it can go directly to the floor. I don't want you to exhale it into the air because you might risk that will be under the effect of this, and you don't want
breathe
that.
in through this and then breathe out through this.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. How long am I having it in my mouth for?
Probably for the next 15 minutes or so,
Okay.
just for the duration of the local anesthesia.
Okay, perfect.
Alright, I'm gonna give you a warm blanket, okay?
His eyeballs are basically disintegrating.
Oh my god.
That sounds dramatic, but that's kind of what's happening.
So I'm going to put the headrest and neck pillow back on, and then we're going to test the local anesthesia. You're done with the laughing gas, so if you want to take your last final breath, or...
Please!
Take it away now.
As much as I need.
Alright, so we're going to start making size. You should not feel these, but again, let us know. You're not supposed to have any like pain during the whole process. We make incisions for both days, yeah. No, this is different.
Follicle.
This is called SEP.
SEP, okay.
Yeah, simultaneous extraction and placement. So
Okay,
I have
perfect.
to make my pre-made site, design it the way that I want. And when I'm extracting, the technicians can load and place the grafts with the same implanter. It's called Mohebi implanter. I invented it. So that's something that we kind of exclusively do here. So because the site's already ready, the moment that I start extracting grafts, they can start loading and placing them.
Okay.
And that minimizes the time the grafts sit out of the body. So we're going to start making size. I start with singles. We use a 0.5 millimeter microblade, very small, enough to have one hair graft inserted in them. And then following that portion, we're going to use 0.7, which is, we use it for 2s and 3s. Number?
146.
Yeah, well, the normal hairlines are irregular. You should never be able to connect dots and draw a straight line.
7, 8, 9, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So once we're done today, we're going to go ahead and put a pressure dressing around your head. It's just to apply any needed pressure for any bleeding or swelling that may occur tonight. Go ahead and leave that dressing on. We're going to take it off tomorrow when you come back. The reason for this is because we do want you to sleep in a 30 to 45 degree angle for the next 7 nights. For activity today and tomorrow, just take it easy. On Friday, you can return to light activity. If you do any heavy lifting, we do ask that you wait about a week, but light jogging or light walking can be resumed on Friday. But for the next 6 months, if you are going to be outside under direct sunlight for more than 5 minutes, we do ask that you wear a hat.
Alright guys, day 1 is finished with the procedure. My head feels like a helmet. I'm a little out of it right now. I'm gonna eat some ice cream. It's currently 5 p.m. We're gonna go back to the hotel, order some Mexican food, rest, and then finish up the procedure tomorrow. So I'll see you guys at the hotel. It's pretty bomb ice cream, by the way. The food was good too. Alright guys, we finished day 1 of the surgery. This is how it's looking right now. I just woke up.
It is 7 a.m. I woke up about like 6:30. We're off for day 2 of the procedure. Today's gonna be really focused on the hairline and on this back section of my crown. They're gonna fill in the rest there. This setup last night on the wedge pillow, my little neck pillow. Sleep wasn't too bad. I'm surprised I actually slept that way. Overall, pain is non-existent. But yeah, we're headed off to the doctor's office now for my second procedure. Tomorrow we're gonna go there and they're gonna actually show me how to wash everything off, make sure I shampoo everything correctly. It's basically like a 3-day thing. Overall, the experience so far has been great. I just listened to music, had some food, and I was pretty drowsy and just kind of laid there. Kind of raw dogged it for like 8 hours and just listened to whatever they had to talk about. We're off for day 2. We have this second day to go, and I think we have about another 2,000 to 1,800 grafts left for the rest of my head. Here's a closer shot and some different lighting. We did not have a lot of single follicle grafts, which actually is a good thing. That means we have more density in our donor area for graft sites with follicles of 2s and 3s. Look, a more dense look. So now we have to make individual single follicle grafts, put them to the front of the hairline to make it look more natural. Normally you put single follicle grafts in the front, followed by 2s, 3s, 4s. We're gonna go back in and really dial in the hairline today. I'm a little worried the hairline's a tad bit high, but with my scenario, it's gonna look the best for the long run. If I lower it too much, we're not gonna have enough grafts to cover more space down the road because I'm headed to a Norwood 6. I'm going completely bald, so we're going for the long run. Sweet. I'll see you guys after we're done. Later. I feel like for most patients, it's like I've had hair forever. Alright, we're part 2 on the second day of the hair transplant. Got some steak kebab, soup, salad, apple juice, which is amazing because I haven't had it in forever. Overall, feeling pretty well. Anesthesia's worked. I feel no pain. I slept for like the first half of the surgery so far. And then we're watching South Park. We're almost done. We got like 600 more grafts implant, and then we're good to go. So I'll catch you guys after. Dr. Mohebi's gonna do the final check.
Yes.
And then we're out of here.
Hair transplant, like knowing everything that you know, like was it what you expected, or like what was the real experience like?
I like to gather my thoughts more, but in the moment it was way easier than I thought it was gonna be and less painful. I think the duration of time kind of took me out where it was like coming in for the second day. But overall it was pretty simple. I was pretty drowsy most of the time. I kind of slept half the time. But overall, it was pretty easy, pretty relaxing. Waiting for the hairs to come back in, I think that's what I dread the most. As far as the surgery though, pretty simple, pretty easy. Come in, chill, get it done. The pain is very, very minimal. A lot of people say it's super painful. My experience with you and your office wasn't painful at all. Your team is great. You guys really paid attention to detail. Even just coming in, thinking we're done twice, but coming back in, hey, let's make more insertions, let's make more sites, let's make sure we can split up follicles and finish off there, make sure it's exactly what the way we need it. So attention to detail, I really cared about.
It's all about details.
So I really appreciated that.
Take care.
Thank you, doctor.
All right.
Alright guys, we are finally back at the house after the day 2 of procedure. This is what the hair is looking like right now. I love the attention to detail they paid to the hairline. You can tell how it's staggered, it's not straight across. I'm going to show you guys how I sleep really quick because this is going to be a little complicated over the next couple weeks. But we have a 45-degree angle here. We have to keep the head elevated with this little neck pillow. little feet rest. I got this little cloth here just in case the back of my head bleeds. I don't want to ruin the furniture. Got my pain medication here for some sleep, some water, the neck pillow, and we're ready for bed because it's been a long 2 days, but the procedure overall looks really, really good. And I'm excited to show you guys the progress. We'll be going in tomorrow for a cleaning update, so to show me how to clean properly. One last little update, we did the entire scalp. Pretty big procedure. We did 4,126 grafts, FUE procedure. They basically punched sites and then they took the grafts, made sure they're the right grafts and put them in right away. They didn't take them all out, count them, then put them in. They took them out and put them in almost instantly. I'm gonna bring you guys with me to the wash day tomorrow, but this is the end of the day 2 of procedure. All right guys, good morning. I just woke up. This is what the hair is looking like right now. You can tell it's pretty swollen around the forehead. Still got the bandage on. We're gonna be going back to the clinic right now. We got like an hour-and-a-half drive. It's like 8:30 a.m. They're gonna show me how to wash my hair, make sure I do it right. That way I could do it the next couple days appropriately. Sleep was not the best. I also sleep with 2 giant Doberman and my fiance. So the bed setup really isn't the best if you're sleeping with 2 giant dogs. Not feeling too bad. I can't have caffeine. I'm not gonna eat yet because I wanna go in fasted. Also, we have to wear zip ups. I wasn't ready to wear zip ups because you can't be putting anything over your head, which obviously. And I'll see you guys at the office for the cleaning session. So let's get out of here.
Today, you don't have to wash it anymore today, so you don't have to deal with that.
Cool.
Starting tomorrow, you're gonna wash it on your own twice a day for the following 4 days.
Okay.
So it's gonna be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Or let me know, I can send you home with a few.
Cool.
You can already start to notice some swelling here.
We just took off the bandages. This is the swelling. We're gonna do a hair wash here. We have to hair wash twice a day for the next 4 days. This is what the back looks like. The swelling is wild. Can I touch it?
You can, yeah.
Ooh, squishy.
It's all fluidy.
Yeah. There is a double-sided sponge, so there's a spongy side and a bristle side. For the donor area, which goes above your ear and it goes around to your other ear, you're going to be using both sides. First the spongy side to apply foam, then you're going to transition to the bristle side and bristle that dried blood back there. The recipient side, you're only going to be using the spongy side. Now, there's not a right or wrong amount of shampoo to be used.
Cool.
So this is what you want to go for, a foamy substance. Side, which is the spongy side, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it on that donor area. Now you want to apply a generous amount.
There's something.
So we recommend the cup method. So you would basically just grab a cup, fill it up with water, stand in the shower, just pour it over your head. Now you can also do a detachable shower head if you have one. You just set it to a low pressure, not too hot, not too cold. Lukewarm is fine. And as long as you're consistently moving that hand nozzle, you're completely fine. I'm going to go ahead and come into contact with the recipient side, and I'm just dabbing up and down motion to a low pressure, and I'm consistently moving that nozzle. Alrighty, and you're all set.
The 2-day procedure for Zeph. We did it, and we did 41, 26. That's the number of grafts. So it took us 2 days. The first day we removed hair from the top portion of the donor area and restored the front and corners and the left side. And the second day we removed it from the bottom portion and put it in the top and crown. I'm happy with the density. This is complementing what you've done so far. You've done a good job maintaining your hair and keeping all those soldiers.
Yeah.
But now we get some fresh forces and we give the reinforcement that you need, and it's going to look nice and dense. And in 8 to 10 months, you probably see long enough hair so you can comb it and style it the way you want.
Sweet. All right, guys, we finally made it back home. This is what the hair is looking like right now. Now it's just time for it to heal, keep it clean, and then we're going to be taking off the scabs here shortly. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about the price, and I want to keep it real with you guys. Get fully compensated through Dr. Mohebi. It is going to be a huge involvement as part of a large streaming platform for hopefully something big. I can't really say it yet, but it is in a cooperation with that I'm involved in. So I am just so grateful that I'm put in that opportunity to work with somebody like that. I did get a lot of offers across the entire world to get it done for free, and I get to do it in the US and work with someone that is a great surgeon that's worked with A-list, B-list celebrities, and I get to do it for free and an involvement in hopefully a big streaming platform. So just keeping it real with you guys. It is a little bit more expensive in the US. It can range anywhere from 15 to 30K for a normal surgery. I did get a larger surgery. You can go to like Turkey, Colombia, get it done for 3, 4, 5K, and it can still look really good. So there's plenty of clinics out there, but I just want to keep it real with you guys so that you guys know that what I'm doing is getting done for free, but also it's getting documented, and we're making it into this huge thing that hopefully lands somewhere big. So just want to keep you guys in the loop. Also, if you guys can go ahead and click that subscribe button, give this video a huge thumbs up, and leave a comment for me in the comment section of what you want to see more of. And I'll keep you guys posted on the progress. This is what it's looking like right now. I'm exhausted. I haven't slept in the last couple days, so I'm gonna go get some sleep. Y'all are so real for this. I appreciate every single one of you. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all. Peace.
2 weeks after procedure, any trouble, any issues?
No, not at all.
Pain, difficulties, swelling? I'm sure you had swelling.
The swelling wasn't too bad, but I did get a little bit of swelling.
Okay, good.
Just only
Eyes
like 2 or
got
3
puffy
days.
a little bit?
Not too bad.
No, really?
No, just nose, face. Oh, I had some temple bruising.
Yeah.
I noticed like a little bit of bruising here.
Yeah, as we discussed before, this is your best time because it's a good preview of the future. So a year from now, if you decide to buzz cut your hair, that's going to be exactly what you're going to get.
Sweet.
Because every single hair that you see will grow and will be right there. For the time being, for the next few months, expect some drop.
Yeah.
You may lose all of them or some of them. Because we do simultaneous extraction and placement, the grafts are not stressed out as much. Used to be in the old method hair transplant, you lose them all and they all grow back after 3 months. But now, 20% of the people will keep some of them or all of them. So if that's the case, you're lucky. If not, don't worry. After 3 months, you start seeing new growth. So basically, 2 weeks from now, if you were to lose them, you can see the final result, what's going to be left. And then after 3 months, you start seeing new growth, but it's going to be baby hair, tiny hair, it becomes thicker and longer over time. Don't expect all to grow at the same time. They're not like grass that grow. They're one here and one there. And gradually you see more darkness of the skin and length to the hair. 8 months, you have good enough hair length that you can start combing and styling it the way you want. Some people, again, if you don't lose it, that time may be 5 months or 6 months. But if you do lose it, at 8 months probably, and still it's not the best time, at 12 months you see full result because hair is long enough so you can comb it and style it the way you want. Have you picked a style for hair?
I think I'll try a couple things. Obviously, just having it hang forward, and maybe like a brush back left to right.
I think left to right, as we discussed, will be the best, and I considered that as I was doing this because everything is about strategic placement. So when I was making size, I made sure that left side you have full density and it extends toward the back. So that full density, because we dropped the density on top, but on the left side, I went full density on one side. So if it comb completely from left to right, you still have a nice and solid presentation in front.
How long for the slight redness of the scalp? Do you like the little tint?
Well, your skin is on the lighter side, so you show it a little bit more. So occasionally people may even show some redness until like week 4 or 5, but gradually will get better. Even now, I don't think it's bad.
It looks really good.
It's not
I can't
bad.
really tell now.
No, some people have more than this at this stage. Other complications that you have to be aware of, we talked about before, folliculitis, some pimples here and there. If you see pimples in recipient area or even donor area, the solution, home remedy, is to just do hot compress, hot water, towel, squeeze it, put it on, keep it for a couple of minutes, redo this every few hours.
Cool.
And then if they're not going away, if they're too close to the hairline, if they're bothering you, come back here, we can incise them. It's a very small, tiny procedure that we do in the office. Sun exposure, what are you going to do?
Cannot go outside for more than 5 minutes.
Well, you can go out.
Sun exposure for more than 5 minutes,
With a hat,
I've been wearing a hat outside.
Or sunblock. You can even swim, but put a waterproof sunblock. And if you go in the water, if you do swimming, surfing, you want to keep doing it every 30 minutes.
And then sleep angle, can I go back to normal?
Yeah, you haven't been yet?
No.
Just 5 days.
No, no.
Okay.
No, I'm
I guess
fighting.
you've overdone
I'm protecting it,
You've
man. I overdone it for sure. I definitely have. I'm not super paranoid, but I was like, okay, I gotta make sure I'm not messing this up. Pretty much
Comfortable
gone.
with finger and nails? Wash it normally?
Yeah, been washing it normally.
You're not baby washing it anymore?
No, I've
Okay,
been getting in there for sure. Still a little numb.
Yeah?
It's like numb and tender. It's almost like, it's weird. It's like I can't feel my finger touching my scalp.
Right,
If that makes
right.
sense.
Yeah.
But you can feel the hair, so it almost feels like it feels like fake hair because you can't feel like the nerve of the hair. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I get it. So the reason for that is that you know the nerves for this area that run from bottom to top and from the back. It comes from sides and back. So we have thousands of those little incisions. It's like little wounds that are trying to heal. When they're trying to heal, there's some inflammation that goes all the way down to the level of the nerves, and some of these nerves will feel that and they become dysfunctional temporarily. But it will come back. It always comes back to normal. Give it a couple of weeks or months, it will always be back to normal. But some of the swelling may have to do with the type of procedure. Some of it has to do with the patient. People are reacting differently. But the way we do it is also different. The incisions that we use are very small. We use 0.5 millimeter incision for hairline for singles and 0.7 for 2s and 3s. And the reason we can do that is because we use this blunt Mohebi implanter that can go to the smaller incisions, enlarge them, put the grafts, and come back, and grafts will get grabbed. So other places that they don't use this technique, they don't use this type of implanters, they have to make the incision big enough so they can easily, with the forceps, put the grafts into the holes.
And the hole stays bigger.
And hole stays bigger.
And it takes longer to heal.
Holes bigger means more surface area of the wound.
Yeah.
So the more wounding you make on the scalp, the more swelling you can produce. Because all this one, so if the incisions instead of and this is the number that most people do. Most people do like 1.2 for 2s and 3s and 1 for singles.
Wow.
Exactly, almost twice as much as ours. So imagine the surface area of the wound is going to be bigger, and they cannot dense back as good as we could.
Yeah, because you can't pack hairs
it's just
together.
like this bigger incision, they cannot touch them to each other.
That makes sense.
So yeah, those are little things that over the years we perfected the system. The whole idea about Mohebi implanter, they invented it, was because it was making us able to be able to implant as we're extracting. But the side effect of it was that we could make the sizes smaller, and we can, dense pack more.
Yeah, that's really cool. Do you have to place hairs around other native hairs and like avoid damage? Like, is it possible to damage grafts?
It's very hard.
Native hairs
It's very hard to damage.
implanting?
Well, obviously, when we do loops magnification, and we go between them, we don't go on top of another hair. But even if you go too close to another hair, it's very difficult to damage a hair. And the reason for that, ask people who have facial hair, trying to get rid of it. It's almost impossible by just plucking them, putting they do different techniques that they go in and try to burn the follicles, they still grow back. So it's not easy to transect hair or damage hair by going too close to it.
So it's almost like you would almost have to like split an arrow perfectly, kind of idea, and like
even if you do that, I'm not sure that you can
kill the hair.
Kill the hair completely. Shock loss is another option, right? Another thing. It's not about transecting hair, native hair, but it's about just inflammation of healing, stressing the existing hair, and then you lose them. So all the work that you've done before, you may feel like, oh my God, where did they go? That's shock loss. Many of them will grow back. Yeah.
What about the machine that I want to ask the machine that was extracting grafts? It's a machine, right? That goes over the top?
Yes, it's a machine. It's called Trivellini system. The scientific name for this type of machines is multiphasic devices. So multiphasic devices, it means when the punch start extracting the grafts, it goes with different energy in different levels of the skin. So on the very superficial layer, you want to have enough power to cut through the thick layer of the skin. But when you go deeper, we get closer to the follicles, which are very fragile, it's just hanging there, and it's not difficult to cut. It switches, instead of rotation with high speed, it goes to oscillation, very gentle, go down, and doesn't damage any hair and at the same time you can remove the entire graft.
Do you have to consider my like hair type before diving in? Like if I had a curly hair type, would you be, and like how it like tucks the
Yes.
graft under? So like you're considering that. So
Good-
how
good
was
question.
like the withdrawal from my hair, and did you find it to be like pretty clean throughout the process?
Yours was a relatively easy extraction. Sometimes we have difficult extraction. Sometimes we have curly hair, like we call a C curl. Like underneath the skin, hair turns like almost
Yeah.
like
It cooks, yeah.
160 degrees. So you have to kind of follow the same curvature. That makes it a lot more challenging. Sometimes the hair numbers are not, instead of going parallel to each other, they go away from each other, called a splay. So imagine you have like 3 hair, each one go to a different direction.
Yeah.
No matter which one you follow, you're going to cut the other 2.
Yeah.
So you have to work with the machine, with the energy of the machine, and change it to make it, bring it from high energy to medium energy and low energy as you go down.
Yeah. But extraction went pretty well. The
It was
extraction,
good.
everything went well.
We were
Sweet.
very happy. A lot of, you probably have heard it. The girls were telling you, the group of like 4s and 5s,
Yeah.
which is not usual.
I'm like
I mean,
really surprised. I feel like the densities, I mean, just even at the buzz cut, it's come along really nicely. And even the healing process of like the donor and what you guys take in, I'm like really happy with how clean everything is. Like it just feels like the healing process on the back end has looked good compared to like some other ones I see where it's like, ooh, that looks rough.
And the cleaning and afterwards, the day one that you come back for
Yeah.
hair wash and how you do it at home, that's very important. Let's take some pictures.
Cool, let's do it. Yeah, since then it's been 3 months, and this is how the hair's looking like right now. A lot of the hairs you're seeing grown in right now are my native hairs. We kept about 20% of the transplanted hairs. If I look up, you can kind of see the hairs crawling over my forehead here. These were never there before. These are some of the transplanted hairs that stayed. They ended up splitting my procedure into 2 days because it was a rather large procedure. The 3rd day I came back for a wash, so they showed me how to wash my scalp appropriately. They went through my donor area and cleaned it up as well. The clinic also gave me a tool and a sponge to clean up my scalp and the recipient area and the donor area. They also gave me their own shampoo. And yeah, basically that first week, I got a wedge pillow from Amazon, which I would definitely do. They gave me a neck pillow as well. And then I got 2 pillows to the left and right of me. And I kind of set up my own custom recliner chair in my bed. Now I do sleep with my fiance, my 2 dogs, so the bed was completely packed, but I didn't want to move. I had to sleep at a 45-degree angle. The clinic that I went to told me that I'm going to have to do this for a week. They also advised me to take off my scabs after day 5. So that's what I did. My scalp and head healed up pretty fast. I did get some swelling. Now the swelling wasn't too ridiculous like some of the other ones I've seen. It's really case dependent on the swelling and how bad it gets. But I did have some swelling. I'll definitely show you what that looked like. After they wrap up your forehead, all that blood and the drainage just makes you look like Megamind. It's ridiculous. You had to wash your hair twice a day, where you make your shampoo in a cup, make it sudsy, and then lightly dab the suds onto the scalp. And then you'd rinse off the suds by pouring water, a cup of water on your forehead and let it draining over the top. So you definitely have to be careful. The first week after the hair transplant's like the most important. You don't want to touch anything. You don't want to knock any of those grafts loose. Very, very tedious. And honestly, you're just out of it. Post-procedure after that first week is worse than the actual procedure. I did get local anesthesia and some laughing gas, and also got a diazepam that made me sleepy during this procedure. So the pain during the procedure was easy. It was the lingering pain after the procedure. It was more of just like a tedious, draining feel for that first week. Pain tolerance out of a 10, accumulatively through the whole thing, was probably like a 4. By day 5 though, we did get those scabs off. It took me like an hour, and basically what I did is I made my same sudsy shampoo thing and dabbed it on my head, let it sit there for 15 minutes, rinsed it off, and then just repeated until I was able to kind of loosen up those scabs and slowly roll them off. I'll kind of show you what that looks like. But my entire scalp was covered in these scabs, so getting them off was very satisfying. After I got those scabs off, you can really start to see those hairs come through, and it looked like a buzz cut. I loved it. I had a full buzz cut head of hair look, and it was like the most dense I've seen my hair in forever, and I loved it. Instant glow up until about week 3, where those hairs started to fall out. I noticed pockets here and there where I was like shampooing my head and all these hairs were on my finger. I knew I was going through the ugly duckling stage. Now, most everyone goes through this. I thought I was gonna be one of the lucky ones that wouldn't. However, I did keep about 20 to 30% of those transplanted hairs, which I didn't even know you would be able to keep all of them. I thought you shed all those hairs. The next couple of months, like nothing really had changed. I was shed most of my transplanted hairs by then. I even lost some of my native hairs from shock loss, and I will say the donor area didn't really feel that great during this time. My scalp was itchy for the first month. I still have some redness going on the scalp, and that first 2 months you still have numbness on the top of your head, which was kind of weird. I also get post hair transplant, they're like pimples that arise on top of your scalp, and I still kind of have one here or there from those hairs trying to come back in, and they kind of get trapped. It's called folliculitis. A lot of people wonder why my hairline is so high, and my situation's a little bit different, and everyone's situation's a little bit different, is where you want these grafts to go. And it's all based on how bald you're going. I'm going to like a Norwood 6 or 7. I'm going completely bald, and even if we've transplanted all these hairs on top of my head, if I'm not on medication or taking care of my native hairs, the transplant still won't look that good. So these transplanted hairs aren't going to go anywhere necessarily. They're all DHT resistant from the back inside of your head. But 4,126 grafts isn't going to be enough coverage for me to build this like amazing density and everything I need to have my hair look perfect again. And we only are limited to these grafts on the sides and back of my head. Now you can get grafts pulled from your beard, but that's going to be a surgery done for density purposes, and you're going to have to go in multiple surgeries, and it's just something I don't want to do. If we can limit the hair transplant to one and done, I would love to. Fortunately, it might not be the case. We'll have to see some years down the road to see how my hair looks. To fill in the hairline and the temples would have been about another 15 to 2,500 hair grafts, and that would have put me around 6,500 grafts. And people are limited to the amount of hairs they can pull from the sides and back of your head before your donor area starts to look sparse and thin. Just kept it conservative and focused on density in the long game, because as I continue to lose my native hairs on top of my head, we might need to go back into the donor area and keep building more density. So anyways, that's why we didn't lower the hairline, basically just to conserve grafts and build more density down the road if we need them. Also, lowering the hairline is going to have more patchwork down the road, right? I'm creating more space to fill in down the road. If I put a hairline here and my hair keeps going back, I'm going to have to keep adding more hair in, which is going to cause more grafts, more surgeries, more money. So we kept it conservative. We traced my hairline where it is currently. Plus, it's going to be more of a natural look. It's going to look fine going into my 30s, and it's going to look super unnoticeable, which is something I'm cool with. All in all, I'm super happy with the work they did. He's very detailed, even down to explaining where he put the hairs and why. He put more density to the left than the right based on how I want to style it. Angle of the hairs he put in there are going to crawl forward so I can get more coverage on the hairline. He put like a spiral technique on my calyx so that when it grows out, it can blend and do some coverage on the crown. Because knowing that I'm thinning, your doctor wants to strategically place all these hairs depending on how you're going to style your hair and how bald you're going. I couldn't just get a large slab of hair on my hairline and have it look great. Unfortunately, we had to address the hairline, build some density, sprinkle in some density through the middle of the scalp, build up some density for the crown coverage on the calyx so it can spread over the crown. It's like art. You know, each transplant doctor is going to have a specific way of how they do things. You're not going to expect it to be perfect, but we are going to expect more hair than we had before. And that is going to be very, very satisfying. So I'm excited to see what the result's going to be. People ask what I'm doing post hair care for my hair transplant. I have a topical minoxidil that I'm taking, and then I have oral finasteride, 1 milligram. I take that daily. I'm not having any current side effects. When I initially started it, I did have some libido increase and some physical like achiness for like in and out for like the first 2 weeks with the finasteride. It's something I have to take with the transplant to keep my native hairs because I am going completely bald. Now, some of you might not be losing a crap ton of hair where you might not even need to take that, and you could just take maybe minoxidil or maybe not even take anything. Now, I do have things like tretinoin and microneedling and hair oiling as like an adjunct therapy, but my main two are finasteride and minoxidil. Now, the reason I wanted to do a month 3 update because this is the beginning and the start of the growth. So we've been through all the bad months and hopefully we're on our way to ascending to Fabio vibe. I will say if you are planning to get a bigger surgery, you need to prepare mentally. You are going to be like, yo, is it worth it? Is it working? Is it not? Some people shave their head because they just don't want to deal with the growth that comes in because it comes in kind of patchy and it all kind of grows in at different lengths and times. It's not a bad way to go because then you can kind of just ignore it. And then by the time it hits like month 4, 5, and 6, you really start to see that growth come in. And then hopefully by month 8 to 12, we should really see that full growth come in. What's going on, guys? We have made it to 6 months post hair transplant, and finally we are here. As you can see, we got these little micro bangs going on here. Seen a lot of progress over the last couple of months, and I'm super excited that we're finally into the fun part of the hair transplant where we actually get to see results. 6 months ago, I ended up getting a hair transplant in North LA with Dr. Parsa Mohebi. He did a very good job, him and his team, taking care of me. It was a 2-day procedure, and we got 4,126 grafts. The last few months were not the best. We got them placed like everywhere on my head. We put more towards the front and to the side, and then we had some scattered through the middle, and then we put more density in the crown. Basically, I'm going completely bald. So we needed a very specific procedure to get enough coverage to cover all my bald spots and kind of create this illusion of a full head of hair without having a full head of hair. And yes, on top of the hair transplant, I'm still taking medication, finasteride, minoxidil. I microneedle. I use tretinoin in combination with minoxidil. So I still have a hair growth and hair loss protocol that I use every single day on top of the hair transplant before the procedure and post-procedure. That's just the reality we live in. If you guys are planning to get a hair transplant and you guys are still balding, make sure you stop your hair loss first before you go into the procedure, because you're still going to be balding after the hair transplant, right? If you put transplanted hairs on the spots that you need the hair, but then the hair continues to recede or those native hairs continue to go, that transplanted hair isn't going to be enough to give you the coverage that you want, and you're going to look just as bald as you were before years down the road. Hair transplant's kind of like a band-aid. It doesn't really solve the issue of hair loss. So make sure you guys are doing everything you can to stop your hair loss first and get on some type of protocol. That way you can just have a full head of hair and not keep losing your hair, because when your hair starts to go, it starts to go. Personally, the experience, it's been up and down. I mean, super excited getting the hair transplant, super excited to get everything going. The first month was great. You get to see all those transplant hairs come in, and a lot of them actually stayed. Looked like I had a buzz cut, and I was loving the look. And then month 2, I had the classic dread shed that everybody through hair transplants are going to know about, where you basically lose all those transplanted hairs. You also have shock loss, and those native hairs go away too. So I basically went from having a baseline of hair to actually looking worse than I did before the procedure 2 months into the post procedure. 2 months in, man, my hair's falling out. It looks all patchy, looks sparse. I got a lot of hair falling out. And I just owned it, honestly. I just didn't really care. You can't go outside for more than 5 minutes to have any sun damage to the grafts that you just had. So you make sure you wear a hat outside. So if you guys are worried about wearing a hat or not after your hair transplant, you can wear a hat. You can cover it up until that hair goes back in, because I know you do not want to be walking around with a fresh hair transplant showing people what it looks like, because if you didn't like your hair before, you're not going to like your hair 2 months post hair transplant. After month 2, month 3, it got worse. I decided not to cut my hair. At this point, a lot of people decide to buzz down their hair, which honestly, I would recommend. The only reason I did not buzz down my hair is I genuinely just wanted to show you guys what the hair looks like as it starts to grow back in. Buzzing it down is a great way to go, because it doesn't even look like you had a hair transplant for most people, and you can kind of blend in all the hair, just keep it short. And then by the time it hits month 6, then you could start growing it back in, or month 5 or whatever it is. Month 3 and a month 4, I started noticing all those mini micro hairs coming back in and bursting through the skin. Month 5 was a very pivotal point in the transplant process, where those hairs start to come in, get thicker. And now that we hit month 6, the last 2 weeks, so the back end of month 5, has been the biggest change I've seen. When we did the procedure as if I'm going to style my hair left to right. I've always styled my hair left to right, so it was just normal to me to style it left to right. And this also allows us to place the hairs in specific spots we need them for specific coverage. So, and angles of the hair. So people and surgeons will actually put hairs in a certain angle so that they can lay down a certain way. So when we did the procedure, he put the hairs in this way so the hairs can comb over naturally, and then these hairs were that way as well, so they can kind of curl back over, and I can get this like swoop left, swoop right, kind of push back kind of look. Now, it's not complete, obviously. It looks pretty raggedy right now. I have no product in it, so I have to style it. But hair transplants are basically an illusion. And this is my next point I want to get to, is expectation. So going into it with expectation of a hair transplant, I'm thinking a one and done process. Let's just get 4,000 plus grafts. Let's cover the scalp. Let's put a new hairline in. Let's get the crown. And 6 months down the road, I realized that if you set expectations too high, you're going to be disappointed with them. with the outcome. And if you set them too low, you're not going to be motivated to go get a hair transplant. So if you're going to get a hair transplant, you're going to have more hair than you had to start, and it's going to look awesome. If you have the money to go do it because you will love the outcome. Already will love the outcome. Just don't get botched or don't have a failed hair transplant. That's going to come down to your protocol and finding the right doctors. Stopping your hair loss, make sure you have a hair routine, finding the right doctor, getting a good procedure. I went through a friend, his name's Melvin. He runs the Hair Transplant Network. It's a forum online. You could just go to it for free, find a doctor that's in your area, click on doctors maybe you want to see or an area you want to go to, click on the doctor, and it'll show realistic patients, realistic results, before and afters. You're going to want to find a doctor that has procedures similar to your hair style or your hair issue. For me, we went conservative, kept the hairline a little bit higher, built in some density, blended in the hairline with the diffused thin look. So that has this like really just mature, natural look. And that's just what I wanted. I have more grafts in the future when I continue to bald, if I want to go back in and fill in some patchwork or maybe some temple work or whatever. But overall, he did a great job. Know if you're going bald that it's not always going to be exactly how you wanted it as you imagined it, of this perfect Fabio, beautiful hair that you had when you were 18 or hell, 16. Some people start balding at 18. I started losing my hair at 18. You're not going to have like this perfect look. And that's just if you're going like completely bald. It's going to be hard to get exactly what you want, especially if you're going bald. You have crappy hair genetics, that hair is miniaturized, it's thin. But there is realistic results for people that want to go get hair transplants to just fill in the hairline. Imagine this, right? I want to talk about density and like your expectation and how many grafts to have it look a certain way. And this is going to be like very in depth for people that like, I remember watching hair transplant videos. I'm just yapping right now, but I'm giving you guys good information. So I want you guys to hear me out. If you guys are planning to get a hair transplant, you can imagine getting 4,000 grafts. Okay. Basically, people are limited to grafts they can get from hair transplants. It could be 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. Some people get 9,000. It's basically you're limited to the amount of donor hairs you have from the sides and back of your head where the hairs are DHT resistant. That's why I say take medication, because you want to stop DHT from attacking the top of your hair so that those hairs won't miniaturize and you won't lose them. If the goal is to keep hair, then you would get a hair transplant and take medication to have the fullest look possible. Regardless, you could still go into the beard and get some beard hairs. I can get like another 1,500 grafts in the beard hairs, so on and so forth. But most people in one sit-down surgery get around 4,000. The reason that, because you don't want to do mega sessions. When you do mega sessions, it's like when you get like 8,000 plus grafts. So imagine taking all your grafts, putting them on your head, all that inflammation, all that trauma. Maybe all those transplant hairs don't stay. And then you're like, shit, the hair transplant didn't look as good or didn't turn out as well. Well, now you're out of grafts. So it's really good to just go in with like not all your eggs in one basket. Max 4 to 4,500. Some people do like bigger sessions, like 6,000 grafts, which you can do as well. But what I would do for the long run is I would get max like 4,500 grafts on your first session. And if that doesn't give you the result you want, at least you have more reserve to go back into to fill more density. But if you get 4,000 grafts, your hairline's going, and you put that all up front, you're going to have this crazy dense look in the front, right? Myself, I took 4,000 grafts and basically scattered them and placed them throughout my entire scalp because I'm a diffuse thinner. So you might look at my hair and go, well, it doesn't really look that good. Well, we disperse that density look for coverage. There's a difference between density and coverage. Density is the amount of hairs that's packed in a single place. Coverage is like your illusion of coverage of the scalp. So like for me, I have coverage, right? Like I have hairs here that can cover over some of these dead spots here. I have hair in the crown that can spiral. So you do the crown, they surgically put it in this spiral technique that places the hair that's spread over the crown, back of the head, over the scalp. On the front, obviously we talked about this strip of density that goes here, so we can brush it back and cover some lower density pieces in the scalp. So basically we have this flow of hair that's having good coverage for someone like me that needs the coverage. Now, if you want density, like your hairline's just going, you could just pack 4,000 grafts up front and you would just have a full dense look. And you're probably looking at people that get hair transplants, that get transformations like that. And you're like, wow, holy crap, that's crazy. Like that looks great. Like that's what I want. And you can do that. And I would be super jealous. That's awesome. Do it. But if you're going completely bald like me, you're going to have to sacrifice some parts of what you want for the overall look, if that's what you're going for. And so that's kind of what I was getting at, is that I just want freaking crazy amount of hair everywhere. But a transplant isn't going to be able to provide me that with the donor hairs I have and how bald I'm going. So I can't have this like over the top expectation of like, I'm just going to have like this amazing full thick head of hair and I'm going to get braids, right? Like it's just not going to happen. These last 6 months, a lot of ups and downs. If you get a hair transplant and you should expect to see results 4 or 5 months in, right? But then you start taking topical minoxidil at month 2 and you go through a shed and then that hair loses until month 3 and then that hair starts to come back by month 4, then you might be seeing results by month 7 or 8. It's going to be a better result because you're using topical minoxidil if you're a responder, but that result's going to come in a little bit delayed. So right now for me, my result is just a little bit delayed, and I've seen it in the last 2 weeks where my hair just looks completely different than it did last month. I get frustrated, and that's why I tell everybody to take update photos once a week or update videos, because you look at your hair and you're like, damn, I'm not seeing progress. And then you go back a month ago and you're like, wow, I see a difference. Or 2 months ago, you're like, oh my gosh, it's a big difference. It's okay. It's still going to come in. So only starting month 6, and I am super optimistic for month 7 and 8, knowing that I've only seen big change personally to my look and the aesthetic of the hair, the girth of the hair. That's what she said. The thickness, the texture, only in the last 2 weeks. All my issues with the hair transplant, and this is that expectation piece I was talking about, is the strip of hair up front. That's awesome. But I do have like this like pockets, right? Like here is a little bit thinner. The crown is a very tough one to do. If I was to scrape my hair apart here, you could see little pockets, right? But overall, man, it's been really, really good. I've never had this much hair in the last 7 years. So pretty crazy to see it on my head and see that look. If you guys want a sign to get a hair transplant, I hope this is it. This is the first time in years where I've gone to the gym, gone outside, and haven't really cared. I feel normal. I feel like I don't like always, hey, does my hair look like shit or does it look bad or am I bald? You know, I don't really think about those things anymore. I just feel like I feel normal. I have a direct light on me to the left here and I have a light to my right, plus some overhead lighting. So this is gonna be like a very bright environment that I can really show you guys what this looks like. You can really see natural hairs and transplanted hairs blending in. We've got single grafts up front, so it's not looking pluggy. Blending in with some other native hairs that we already had there. Hairline that blends in with the temples, so it's gonna look more natural when we do it that way. As we work our way back through the hairline, strip of hair where it was most dense, right? So you can kind of see, if I really pick this apart, I'll try to like show you guys kind of less dense hair is, but it's really hard to do. Obviously, if I pulled it apart here, you guys can see it better. But you can see the donor area. I don't really feel like a crazy difference through the areas where they pulled the hair out. Now the sides and the back are more dense than the top of my head, but the feeling of running your hands through the top versus the sides, it's just a little less dense on top than it is on the sides, but overall, there's not much difference. I guess if I plan to go back and get another hair transplant, I would possibly fill in some temples here on the sides, just structure them a little bit better. Probably fill in the crown a little bit more. I'd even slightly lower the hairline if I wanted to get picky. But overall, I mean, for a one and done 4,126 grafts, I think it looks really, really good and I'm happy with the result. Ultimate test of how bad my hair actually looks besides it getting wet, which I'll show you guys in a second. We have direct downlighting from the sun right now. So this is what it looks like. Hairline, I'm just gonna part it. If we take down the front, what are we looking like here? I don't know, man. There's just so much length. Now, obviously, there's some diffuse thinning. My hair was already thin before. I was basically bald like 2 years ago. So to have this much hair on my head, even with some light scalps showage, you know, it's pretty good. And there's some cool things you can do outside. Like, I know a lot of people use fibers and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine. I don't like how it sticks in my hair because I feel like I have to wash it out. Plus, I'm applying minoxidil every day, so I don't like using the fibers too much. But fibers work great for bright days like this. Swimming or my hair is just wet out of the shower and it all gets wet at the same time, you really can't see much scalp. But if I sprayed my hair wet and combed it and spread it apart for you guys, that's what I'm gonna do. it doesn't look that good. So keep that in mind. Also, everybody, or most everyone I know, can see their scalp when their hair is wet. But I want to do this so I can hopefully show you guys where the transplanted grafts are and where my native hairs are, and see if you guys can notice a difference. This is where it's going to look the worst. I want it to look the worst. I want you guys to see all the great things about a hair transplant and how I looked before, and all the bad things. Context of how I looked before, right? I want it to be as realistic as possible, because a lot of people like showing how great their result is, but a lot of people don't actually show behind the scenes what they hate about it. This is what my hair looks like wet. So if I bunch up all the hair together and I pull it apart, this is what my hair is looking like. Like I said, there's context here, right? You can see the transplanted hairs, right? You can see where there's more density and where there's less. We're putting hairs where they belong to create the illusion of a full head of hair, not actually having a full head of hair. So that's what my hair is looking like right now, wet. But if I just simply went like this, and just boom, even the crown might be looking a little sparse here. I'm pulling it back or ripping it to shreds here. As it dries, it expands and it looks better. But the good, bad, and the ugly when my hair is wet, man, I'm not even mad about my hair being wet. I never thought my scalp would get covered again unless I was wearing a hat, getting a toupee, or doing the topics, which I've done all those, by the way. See how this strip is darker, and then we kind of go lighter through the back here, but do bigger graft versions, meaning the grafts have hair follicle counts of 2s, 3s, 4s, and the front grafts have singles, meaning they have one hair in the graft instead of 2s, 3s, 4s. He did a great job about being very specific on where grafts go, how many go where and why, to make sure I get the coverage I want. Even on medication, it'll stop the hair loss for the most part, but if I get off it at any point, you know, if I continue to bald, we have grafts to go back into for reinforcements if I want to go in and make some of those sections a little bit denser, even though right now I don't feel the need to. Overall, my hair is in a great state, and I'm loving how it's looking right now, so. Those are my results, and you guys can see in the bathroom outside, getting my hair wet, what it really looks like, and I'm so happy with those results. Like, yeah, it's not perfect, you know, my hair's not perfect. That's why I always tell people to make sure you start taking care of your hair as soon as possible. If you're going bald, you are realistically going to have to look into medical intervention, get on a hair loss protocol. I still take minoxidil once daily topically, and I take finasteride 1 milligram orally every single day to make sure I can stop the progression of hair loss, specifically my native hairs. I'm headed to a Norwood 6 to 7. I'm going almost completely bald on top of my scalp. And there's not enough transplanted hairs to cover your entire scalp. I mean, technically there is. Like, you can go in and get multiple surgeries. You could pull beard grafts, body hair, and just pull loads and loads of hair and put on top of your scalp, and you'll have a full head of hair. So you don't have to take anything. But that's going to be more grafts, more money, more surgeries, more scarring. The doctor you need to perform those can be insanely expensive. Mohebi, the one I went to, is a specialist and does beard grafts. He does insane cases. And he's expensive. And you'd have to get so many grafts. Like, you could be paying 30, 40K, 50K to get a bunch of hair on top of your head. If you guys have that much money, you want to get it done right, go to someone like that, right? But if we want to be realistic, let's get on a hair loss protocol. Seriously, talk to a dermatologist or your doctor. And then seriously consider getting on medication like finasteride or dutasteride. That's really going to help you guys out, keep your native hairs as a base. The goal is to have more hair. Then you would do everything you can to keep your native hairs on top of the transplanted hairs. It's going to make the surgery a lot more accurate. You're going to spend a lot less money on grafts. You're going to have more hair, which is the point of this whole thing. Managing my hair loss first, adding in the hair care, realizing that it's super easy to take care of your hair when it's already growing. Like, your hair just grows. It's super easy. And then the only thing I'm having issues with now that I have hair is styling it. Getting a haircut intimidates me. I don't know what style I want to go with. So that's like my next hurdle, essentially, is learning how to style my hair now that I have it. I've never really had this much hair, so I don't know how to style it. So that's what we're messing with now. I tried a couple slick backs, which look really good. I'm going to go get a haircut here soon. It's time for a trim. Also, it's good for split ends. It's going to look fuller because you're going to get more of a blunt hair, which is going to make it look thicker and fuller. It's not going to look all frizzy and wispy and thinner. when it starts to fizz out. So getting a haircut's going to be huge. Also, when you taper down the sides, you're going to have more bulk up top. So we'll see what I want to do with the haircut. I definitely want to keep it longer. I like the longer style because I get to rock a flow, and I've never been able to rock long hair for a very long time because I've been losing my hair. So I'm happy to be just growing it out and having hair on my head. It's a really good feeling. Everyone says that, oh, it's so worth it. It's the thing to do. Like, I'm so happy I did it. And I totally agree with that. Like, it is so worth it. If it's done right, you're not going to regret it. You're going to have it for the rest of your life if you take care of it for the most part. And it definitely makes a difference. You know, it's brought back a little bit of my confidence, makes me feel better in public. It's like something I don't need to worry about. I get to style and have fun with my hair now, and it makes me feel like a completely different person. I get to almost dress up in a way. And as a man, that sounds stupid or whatever you might think, okay? Having hair makes me feel a lot better about myself. So I'm happy that this is the result I've gotten, and this is how it's looking. My hair now is literally almost good or as good as it was when I was 20. Now, that's not a realistic expectation. I don't think anybody should have that expectation going in to get a hair transplant. Just expect it to be as good as when you were a teenager or right before you started losing your hair. Having a proper protocol going into a hair transplant can really get you an insane result. I just want to get caught up on more of like the nerdy stuff about hair transplants. I would definitely go watch that, like how to get a natural hairline, the graft counts, what you should be looking for in a surgeon, all those things. And I'm truly just grateful for the support you guys show me online. When I started growing back my hair, I kind of got a lot of hate. You know, it just looked better shaved. You know, I shouldn't have had hair. I shouldn't have worked on it. I'm so glad that I had the supporters helping me out, but also I just followed my gut and did everything I can to see it through to the end and regret nothing to see if I can get my hair back, because it literally put me on a journey to not only build a platform and help other people out, but to get my sense of self back and my image back. Sounds really cheesy on camera, but holy crap, I feel and look like a person or a version that I would want to be, which makes me feel confident in myself. And seeing that I've accomplished something that I set out to do, that we were successful with, even though, you know, not all the natural stuff worked and I ended up getting surgery. It doesn't sound like a big of a deal as it is, but the confidence boost, guys, I get from it, the way I feel from getting it done, and the process has all been very overwhelming and a great feeling. Also, some big news. I've been working on a shampoo for over a year, which is a ketoconazole shampoo. Love how it feels with my thin and fine hair. Plus, you get the benefit from the ketoconazole blocking DHT topically, helping with any inflammation. It's like a good multi-tool for your scalp and hair health. I've also been working on a pharmacy formula that's also going to be coming out that I've been working on for a very long time. It's a shitty feeling to lose your hair. So working on it, keeping it, realizing it, taking action, and finding ways to keep your hair and look your best is a great feeling for me.